our honored guests, dear colleagues and friends, on behalf of the Program Committee and the India Organizing Committee of this symposium, I have great pleasure in welcoming you all to the inaugural ceremony of the second Global Symposium, Men and Boys for Gender Justice, which is co-organized by Men Engage in collaboration with UNFPA, UN Women, the Beijing Plus 20 process, and the Center for Health and Social Justice, New Delhi. I would like to invite onto the dais our chairperson of the inaugural panel, Dr. Saida Hamid. Please join me, friends, in welcoming Saida ji, who has been the former member of our Planning Commission in the Government of India. She's also a writer, a poetess, a feminist, and someone who has been with us in solidarity in all our work in the preceding decades. Welcome, Saida ji. I'm also greatly honored to invite Ms. Pumzile Malambo Nakuga, the Executive Director of UN Women. Welcome, Madam. We are also very honored to have with us Ms. Kate Gilmore of the UNFPA. I would also like to invite Ms. Preeti Sudan, Additional Secretary from the Ministry of Women and Child Development, the Government of India. Has she arrived yet? Okay. I believe she is on the way and she will join us soon. We are also very glad to have with us our friend in the film industry, an actor and an activist, Rahul Bose. I think Rahul is here. I would now like to invite Dr. Abhijit Das, a member of the Men Engage Steering Committee, the Director of the Center for Health and Social Justice, New Delhi, and convener of the Secretariat for this symposium, to welcome all our guests with a few words. Dr. Abhijit Das.
Thank you. Respected dignitaries, guests, fellow delegates. It's indeed a fantastic experience for all of us here in Delhi in the organizing processes to see this from the early mornings, the large crowds of delegates coming for the registration process. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the second Men Engage Global Symposium. I also welcome you to the historic city of Delhi, where we have gathered for the symposium for our common quest of gender justice across the next few days. 2 years ago, Delhi was just another city on the gender map of the world. But then, in December 2012, a shocking incident of gang rape and fatal assault of a young woman left the nation aghast and the city ashamed and angry. Thousands upon thousands of people, including many youth and men, poured into the streets to express their sorrow and solidarity. 2 years later, on the occasion of this symposium, all of us, and let me tell you, we have over 1,100 registered delegates from 94 countries. We have all come together, assembled here in Delhi to find new ways to achieve gender justice in a rainbow world. For many decades have women alone carried the torch of the struggle for gender equality the world over. In this symposium, we want to reaffirm a framework of gender justice that includes all groups marginalized and subordinated because of their sex, gender, or orientation. We also want to share thoughts and experiences about ways in which men and boys from all parts of the world and all walks of life are able to reflect upon their patriarchal privilege and join as allies and partners in this common quest for gender justice. As part of our collective campaign on this issue, I would briefly like to share the extensive processes which have preceded the symposium. Men Engage partners and other colleagues from across the world have contributed to the overall planning and preparation of the symposium through the International Steering Committee, the Program Committee, the Abstract Committee, and as authors of over the 400 abstracts that we have received from across 60 countries. Unfortunately, we have not been able to find space for all, and 175 will be presented at the symposium. Over 150 entries were received for the film festival from across 30 countries. 71 of them are now part of a traveling film festival, and a selected list is going to be exhibited at the festival. The catalog of this festival, this traveling film festival, is part of your bag. In South Asia and in India, we have been busy mobilizing men and boys on the issues of gender justice and among students in colleges and universities and youth and men and others in the community. In Delhi, the youth in universities and colleges and in the community have been mobilized through film, theater, art and photography, and a campaign, Bystanders No More, Break the Silence, Stop the Violence, has been started. Over 10,000 individuals have participated in the 100+ events across the length and breadth of the country, from Simla in the north to Madurai in the south, from Mumbai and Pune in the west to Guwahati and Lumding in the far east. The media everywhere has taken up and amplified the issues of concern to millions across the country and the region. And I hope a new beginning of understanding and action on gender justice is beginning. Now, we are all here at the symposium. The program is arranged across 7 tracks and through oral, poster, and cultural sessions. We encourage you all to participate in the various informal opportunities that we have tried to put together in the different points across the 3 days. Taking advantage of the digital age, we have arranged for a live webcast of all the sessions across the 3 days that will be taking place here in the Stein Auditorium. We will also be documenting the proceeding so that the lessons and insights can be distilled and later shared for those who were unable to come for any reason. I apologize in advance for the errors and oversight that are certain to have taken place in an event of this magnitude. I do, however, hope that the symposium is able to fulfill your expectations. You are able to renew old friendships and make many new ones as we all move together in our journey towards gender justice. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Abhijit. Those were words of welcome. But in India, we also believe in symbols of welcome. And I'm now going to request Abhijit, on behalf of all of us who were part of organizing this symposium, to welcome our guests with the traditional scarf, the gamosa, which is woven in the northeast. And I'm requesting Shrey, our young volunteer, to join him. I would also like to invite onto the dais our friends from the Men Engage Steering Committee, Yoni and Osvaldo. Please join us, and I think Abhijit would also like to welcome you as our colleagues in this entire process. এই যাও তুমি যাও The time has now come to beat the drums of change. Are you ready? Do you all have something to beat? As you can see, our guests on the table also have something to beat. So, we are now going to have a ceremony to declare the symposium open. I would request the chairperson of our panel, Dr. Saida Hamid, to beat on the drums, all our guests of honor to join us, and all of us to beat the drums of change towards gender justice. Was everybody here beating the drums of change? I would specially like us to thank, with a very big round of applause, our friends, the drummers of the Chindu group coming all the way from southern India, Andhra Pradesh. They're part of a Dalit social justice effort which is trying to build self-esteem for Dalits who have been so far a very marginalized community in India. But as you can see, they're ready to beat the drums of change, and I'm sure all of us are willing to join them. We would now like to hear from our guests of honor their words of encouragement, support, and inspiration for the next few days in this inaugural ceremony. So first of all, I'm very pleased to invite Ms. Pumzile Malambo Nakuka, the Executive Director of UN Women, to present her thoughts. Madam.
Thank you very much, Madam Program Director. Ms. Primi Sudan, representative of the Ministry for Women and Children, my fellow panelists and esteemed presenters, the PR of Suriname who has come all the way from New York. It's wonderful to see him here, a champion for men and boys involvement in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, men and boys for gender equality, and girls, thank you so much for being here today. And I'm delighted to be with here at this opening of the symposium. This day has come. And on behalf of UN Women, I would like to recognize and thank Men Engage for their superb organization of the symposium. My special thanks go to Abhijit Das, to Gary Baker, and to Dean Peacock. You've outdone yourself, guys, as usual. I also like to acknowledge and thank sister organizations who have assisted us and supported this process. I'd like to recognize Kate, my sister from another mother, who is also here, with whom we work very hard and very well. This symposium is well-timed to convene key partners in the achievement of gender equality at the convergence point of major global policy process that will take place in 2015. And this will be the 20th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, the adoption of the new Sustainable Development Framework, the 10th anniversary review of the 1325 Security Resolution on Peace and Security, the Climate Change Conference at which we hope for a binding and universal agreement. So 2015 is a crucial year for humanity. What we will generate from the discussions in this symposium will be important because it will influence what we are likely to emerge with on the other side. This is truly trailblazing from every perspective. What we are gathered to do here is also a game changer. Certainly for us as UN Women convening men. This is a game changer in that ourselves and Men Engaged are actually united and demonstrating what men and women can do together for humanity. This is game changing because what we are doing here is to redefine the battle of the sexes. It is not the battle of opponents, because the battle remains, but it is the unity of the people that want to do battle with systems and not with people. It is the battle that will define what we must fight, how we must fight it, and who we have to fight together and not separately. So who better to host such an important event than India? The largest democracy in the world, one of the fastest growing economies of the world, a member of the G20 and BRICS, a leader in the global south, a prominent voice in the shaping of the original Beijing Declaration, as well as a strong voice in the shaping of the post-2015 agenda. So where we are and who are with is actually a game changer in their own right. Timing and place is everything. Our host today is well positioned to take a strong leadership role in promoting gender equality, as well as in supporting others to do the same. As the global community, we have a date next year, the post-2015 process, where we will set an expiry date for gender inequality. Between 2015 and 2030 is the last mile. We are here to take steam, to stand on the mark, to kneel down, to wait for the whistle, and we'll run as if there's no tomorrow in order to make sure, not in 2030, but before 2030, we have broken the back of gender inequality. I don't pretend that this is easy. I am not saying this lightly, but we have got to want to do it. And we have got, and as I believe, to be convinced that together, this we can do. So the countdown begins. I see this region as one of the main theaters to make or break, because for each one of us who are here with the issues that we bring with us, these issues exist in this society. Everybody who's here has an issue and has capacity to make a difference. Numerous studies have shown that if we continue in the way we are continuing, in the manner in which we've handled things, decoupling, for instance, development and human rights, we will not reach the goals that we want to reach. What we are here to do and to say to ourselves is that we need bold steps, we need scale, and we need to do this together. We need to be able to say, within the framework of the Sustainable Development Goal, we would have taken each of the major defining feature of patriarchy down, and we would have created systemic change that will be entrenched so that we don't come back here again to raise the same issues. I'm sure many of you would have seen the study from the World Economic Forum, which projected that if we continue the way we do, it is going to take us 81 years to achieve gender parity, not under our watch. So we are here to say, what are these things that we need to do in order to make sure that we shorten and we shrink that period? Because there's real danger that this could happen not unless we strengthen our resolve. We need to find ways of acting that are truly transformative and to seek our new partners in these efforts. We have to extend our reach out beyond our traditional constituencies and beyond our comfort zone. And for old-time feminists like myself, getting into the realm of working with men is getting out of my comfort zone for all the right reasons. I hope that our discussion paper on men, masculinities, and changing power structures from Beijing 1995 to 2015 will help to frame this and other aspects of our discussion. I also hope that this will spur us to action. The gender equality agenda has been led by the women's movement for decades. Women and girls have benefited immensely from this relentless advocacy and activism. We must and will continue our efforts, but not alone. This is not a one-sided task. We see the engagement of men and boys, the other half of humanity, as the game changer that will reinforce and ensure that the road that will be traveled will be shorter ahead of us. This is why I have also launched, as on behalf of UN Women, the He for She campaign, and Men Engage was part of that. In this campaign, we are trying to create a critical mass of men to have a conversation with. That conversation has to have depth and has to be defining and has to propel change and has to recruit members who must join Men Engage and similar organizations. It has to bring people to UN Women and to UNFPA to UNICEF and other institutions that want to engage with men. 1 month later, we nearly are reaching 200,000 men. And I'd like someone to check for me where we are right now. Because by the time I leave India, I would like to see the number sky high. I believe that in India, we can easily reach 500,000, surely. I mean, this is India, please. If that does not happen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here until we've been able to sign up all the men we can sign up in India. I have been told from very reliable sources that there is an estimated 100 million men who have access to the internet in India that we can sign up. But the most important thing is that those men must then go out in the field, outside the internet, in real communities, to work with real men, with boys, with schools, with communities, to change and deal with the dynamics that are there in our society. We also want to make sure that the click is not the end of story. That is the beginning. You are simply signing in and saying, hello, UN women, men engage, I'm available to work. And my goodness, aren't we gonna make you work? So, realize that that is just the first step. We need you to speak out once you've done that. We need you to write op-eds. We need you to be there in court when a woman is standing there alone after they have gone to report and their matter is in front of a magistrate and a judge and they are feeling lost and alone. We need you to take action to stop violence in your family. We need you never, ever again to be a bystander. And that is the message that we want you to take out. We want you to make sure that we can mobilize men to be the ones who say, I don't want to marry a child. We want you to be the one that will say, I don't want to see FGM, female genital mutilation. We want fathers to stand up and say that. We want you to be the one who will say, I will not participate in a panel or in a conference where women are not represented in the platform. These are the things that will define the he for she's. Truly, these will be the chain makers, and the gender justice, driven and propelled by men, women together, will make us an unstoppable force. Thank you.